Hi there, Taylor here, one of Enji's founders. I am back with another installment of things you can do in Enji that maybe you didn't know about. And if you haven't watched the first two videos, go and give those a watch. They're linked in the video description. But here's what you are going to learn about today. We're going to talk about Enji's Google Calendar integration. We're going to also talk about the calendar filters that you have to use. We're going to cover how to add multiple KPIs to one chart, and then how you can update your brand voice. So the first thing I want to show you is Enji's Google Calendar integration, which was a very much requested feature right out the gate, almost since we launched. And it is now a real thing that you can do. And what it allows you to do is connect your Enji calendar to your Google Calendar. And it's super, super simple. All you need to do is be on your calendar tab and then click on this icon. I don't really know how to describe it, but that's the one. And then you'll get this window that opens up, and then you just follow the prompts to connect your Enji calendar to your Google Calendar or your iCalendar or some other kind of calendar software. Now, when you do, on the days that you have tasks on your Enji calendar, in your Google Calendar, there will be an event at the top of the date that says Enji Marketing. And in that, it'll have a summary of the tasks that you have. So like for August 6th, my summary would have said request reviews, publish a blog post, schedule social media. But on the 13th, it's just going to say schedule email newsletters. But this is just a really great way for those of you who live and die by your Google calendars to get a reminder that, hey, you've got some marketing tasks that you need to take care of that day. Now, the second thing that I want to show you on the calendar are the filters that you have available. And so this is one of the newer things that we've added, because we know that not everybody who's using Enji is doing it entirely by themselves. Sometimes you have a VA or a team member that's helping you get things done. Now, side note, if you didn't know this, you can assign tasks to your team members, and you can also add them into your Enji account. But what I wanted to show you is that when you have tasks that are assigned to different folks, and you just want to see the tasks that I'm working on versus what they're working on, you can click on this All Teams tab, or not tab, filter, and then you can filter it out. So I'm going to filter it to me. So here are the tasks that I'm assigned to versus what Danny is assigned to, right? Like you see things change and it filters out the view versus what's everything that's going on my Enji calendar. The next thing that I want to show you is how to add multiple KPIs to a single chart on your performance dashboard in Enji. So let's say we've got this chart, which probably a lot of you have, which is tracking your website visitors. And you want to add another KPI into the same chart so you can see them side by side. So that essentially you end up with something that looks like this, or like this one, or even if you're getting a little, having a little fun with it, you're doing pie charts and you have multiple KPIs all in that. But let's scroll back up to the top. Okay, so let's say I want to add something else to this KPI chart. So I click into the chart, and then I click on these three dots in the upper right-hand corner, and then I select Add Data Series. And then what that does is it adds another column here into my KPI chart. And then I can click on these three dots, and then I can, let me move my face because that would be helpful. Then what you can do is you can go to your KPI category and then pick what's the other KPI that you want to have in this chart. And I'm just going to put page views in here. So then moving forward, if I also go and connect this page views KPI to my Google Analytics integration, then both of these will not only be populated automatically by Enji, but they'll be in the exact same chart. So again, you can see more of a relationship of what's going on there. And the last thing I want to show you today is how you can update your brand voice in Enji. And one of the really nice things about Enji's AI copywriter is that you don't have to constantly be training it on your voice, but you might find on one day that you feel like, I think I want my voice to actually take a slightly different direction. And that would be the instance that you go, okay, I want to make some updates to it. And there are a couple ways that you can go about this. Now I'm in the brand guide, and then this is where my brand voice lives, and I've clicked into it. Now, the most straightforward way to update your brand voice is to look at these adjectives that you see in whatever color is the main theme for your Enji account, and also a little bit of a larger font size, because those are the words that the copywriter is really honing in on to take the creative direction from. So if you want to not sound witty so much, you can delete it. Or if witty wasn't in your brand voice and you want it to sound more witty, you can add it, select it, and then click key adjective to mark it as that. And you'll know that that's been understood by Enji, because again, it becomes this colored word that's a larger font size. So that's the easiest way that you can make some tweaks to your brand voice. Now, if you feel like it's not really getting it right, and maybe you didn't give it a really good sample or the best sample when Enji created your brand voice for you, you can click this button up here at the top that says Enji can summarize your voice again, and then it's going to open up the area where you can give Enji another copy sample to analyze and then recreate your brand voice. Now, this is going to give you something totally different than what you have, but sometimes that's what you need because you found a better example for Enji's AI copywriter to get to know your voice from. So that's the second way that you can update your brand voice. But there's also a third thing that you can do that's a little bit more nuanced and doesn't actually change your brand voice overall. But in your strategy tab, if you go to your customer personas, now down here at the bottom, and I'll move my face again, you can see down here there's a spot that says specific voice. And there are spots here for tone and style, words and adjectives. And the reason that this is another spot that we've created for you is because your brand voice is the overarching like personality and presence of how you want your brand to sound. But like you as a person, sometimes we need to like be a slightly different version of ourselves, and we need to read the room. And so with your customer personas, maybe you have one persona that you want to speak to in a slightly more professional tone versus you have another that you can be more casual and silly with. So if that's the case in your customer personas, you can come in here and you can say, you know, I want to be more casual, or I want to be silly, and enter in those details. And then when you go and you are using the copywriter, please excuse my demo account. When you're in the copywriter, then you can use this part of the button to select your persona that you want the copywriter to, yes, write in your brand voice, but then read the room for this particular person. So those are the things that I wanted to show you today, the things that you can do at Enji that you might not know about. And a quick recap, you can connect your Google Calendar, you can do filtering here, you can add multiple KPIs to one chart, and then you can update your brand voice. And if you have any questions as you go and explore these nooks and crannies of your Enji account, just go ahead and hit the chat bubble, and then we're always here to help.